Thanks for tuning in, guys, to the Pest and Lawn Ginja. Today, we're going to be comparing the Ryobi Dethatcher and aerator against the rock&rocker Dethatcher and Scarifier. So this is the project house that I did a segment on what's wrong with my lawn, and we found out that we have a ton of lawn debris. So today I figure we killed two birds, one stone, use the new Ryobi wireless Dethatcher and Scarifier because in the front lawn we have debris. Backyard, we're going to be doing a seeding project, and we need to make sure that we get some good seed to soil contact, and that aerator acts just like a Scarifier. It's going to dig a bunch of slits into the ground that will allow our grass seed to fall in. So very excited to use this equipment and see how good it goes. Here she is in all her glory, and I gotta say the pictures don't do justice. This thing's a beast.
The rock&rocker comes in at a price point of about $159 on Amazon. Now it's important to note that you have to have an extension cable that's 14 gauge or greater. And I recommend about 100 foot, which they sell for an additional $64 on Amazon. And the rock&rocker is a 15 amp system that can run up to 3,600 RPMs.
It looks like you can tackle a mountain full of thatch. It's got a 16-inch wide deck, which I usually see somewhere between 13 and 15 at the greatest, and it feels well built in the hands. Now the best part about it is they decided to put on 5 different levels. So your 0 is for transportation. You've got 3 levels for dethatching, or 2 levels for dethatching and 2 levels for your Scarifier. Now I'm excited to dive in and see what the rock&rocker has to hold. Now when it comes to the rock&rocker, its biggest pitfall is the cable. However, with that said, that's also its biggest asset. More power is more power, and you don't have to worry about running out of gas, and you also don't have to worry about running out of battery. You guys asked for it, and here it is, the Ryobi Dethatcher.
The Ryobi can be found at homedepot.com between $429 all the way up to $520. Now this is depending on your location, which I'm not sure why. My location got crapped on, so I ended up spending and ponying up the $520. The Ryobi Dethatcher and aerator, just like the rock&rocker, comes with both the Dethatcher and the Scarifier / aerator cartridge. Now this is a battery driven device that requires 2 included 18 volt batteries for a total input of 36 volts. Now it runs a maximum no load speed of 3,350 RPMs. Now the Ryobi has 4 adjustment levels. Now 0, it's just for transportation. You're not going to get anything else out of it. So then settings 1 and 2 are for your dethatching cartridge. And setting 3 is for the aerator / Scarifier cartridge. And this gives us a depth range between 1 millimeter on down to 10 millimeters into the soil, depending if you're on level 1, 2, or 3.
14-inch clearing width, small compact design. It does come with a bag that you can put on the back. Find that the bags are good for sweeping up acorns. Other than that, none of these bags are really big enough to handle dethatching if it's the first clean out. Now, 2 completely different designs. The Ryobi is extremely compact by comparison. She's like a little baby. And then we've got the massive rock&rocker. Now, the Ryobi is a 14-inch model. The rock&rocker is a 16-inch model, which means that you're going to take less passes with the rock&rocker. Now, if we start off with the what they're calling the aerator, which I've been calling the Scarifier, you're going to notice a couple of differences here. The Scarifier / aerator on the rock&rocker has staggered panels here. Now this style design we're gonna have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16 here. And we're gonna have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. So almost identical. The only difference is the spacing. So I'm gonna take more passes on the Ryobi versus the rock and roller. Now here was the funniest aspect that I've noticed. Check out the dethatching cartridges. I'm guessing that they're just about fabricated in the exact same company. Because look at this, even to the bearings, we've got a little bit of spacing issue on the bearings for the OEM fit, but it is the exact same piece. The only thing that my eyes may be deceiving is it appears that the rock and rocker here might have a slightly thicker tine. Now the interesting part about the Ryobi system is it's battery operated. Now the one thing that I'm worried about is simply the fact that with battery operated devices, we have a time limit. And when it comes to dethatching, specifically pulling the debris out of the lawn, most of the time I'm having to do anywhere between 3 and 5 passes on the first day. So when we have a limited time, which I believe is going to be about 20 minutes, could be wrong, we're going to see, it could cause a problem. So I'm excited to dive right in on this. But to get this party started, we need to get the grass down below 2 inches. So I brought my Ego battery operated mower that I've been testing out over the last 5 weeks, and we're gonna mow as low as it'll go to about 1.5 inches. Well, let's get moving. Scalp is done, man. Oh my gosh. We have uncovered a lot of problems here. I would say 40% of the grass is kaput, it's dead, but we have Kentucky bluegrass, so it's going to travel through the lawn once we get all this debris and the garbage out of the way. But oh my gosh, dude, look at this. It's so much. And all this, the problem is, it's like bubble gum on the soil surface. It's just tying everything up. Can't do it, so I'm excited to rock and roll. We're gonna start with the highest setting first. 0's for transportation. So we're gonna drop that down to a 1, just to make sure that we don't scalp the grass, and then we're gonna work down. I'm supposing that we're actually gonna start using it on setting number 2, and then 3 is gonna be for the dethatcher, but 1's a good start. It's gonna keep it right 1 millimeter scuffing the soil. I don't even know if I wanna move on to setting 2. 1 was actually pretty boss. Look at that. We're just about to soil surface. We'll try number 2, but we're gonna do it over here so you can actually see what's going on. Be sure that we don't have too much live matter, and this is super permissible. We've got a few flakes here and there, but nothing out of the norm, so we're gonna keep it on that setting 2. I really don't wanna go down one more setting because I'm actually seeing soil, and I can tell that we're scraping the soil, so we're just gonna leave it. All right, Mr. Ryobi, man, I see you, brother. He's actually doing a really good job. Check this out. Look at this. And this is sticky. A lot of you guys out there call thatch. That's really just debris. We still need to do another pass, so I'm gonna clean this off the top here real quick, and then show you guys a comparison. And then we're gonna cross hatch it too. All right, so I got in almost 4 passes. I got in 3.5, and the lawn, it's looking real good. Now, a couple of things I've noticed. This machine feels really light in the hands, but it's doing a lot of work. I'm actually seeing soil now, and I'm really happy with it. Look at that little guy. Look at that little guy hiding. Anyway, look, we've still got a lot of debris. Still have a lot more. It's pretty gummy at this point, so I think going over it with the Scarifier is kind of the next step. Now this design on the tines, it allows them to use bigger tines, more surface area, and it's more forgiving. commonly with these Dethatchers, it's about a 2-week recovery and looking good. I'm gonna push this one pretty hard, just because of how bad it really was. So I'm gonna charge the batteries. We're gonna do one more half pass with the Dethatcher cartridge, and then we're gonna go to the aerator cartridge and really scuff it up. I'm gonna clean this half up real quick. I'm gonna show you my results. Here's what we picked up. It's a pretty big pile, man. 3.5 passes. I'm estimating about 5,200 square feet is what we did, and we've got about 8 inches high and about 6 feet wide by 4 feet, man. It was a good little haul. This lawn doesn't even look the same. You look at this side, and then you look at this side. One looks like it's got a scab on it, and the other side just looks a little dry, even though it's not. It just worked it. Dividing line right here. We got this side, and if we get on top of it, you're gonna see what I'm saying. Right here, all that, it's all scabby. And then we come over to the light side, and look, all cleared out. You can actually see the soil now. So at the end of the day, I feel like the Ryobi, it feels good in the hands. Super happy with it. Couple of downsides, right? The battery, it's obvious. We got about 20 to 25 minutes out of it, and we did about 5,200 square feet. That was the good news. The bad news is it only did half this lawn. Now, the really annoying part is the charger that they give you only has a slot for one of the batteries. It's not a dual charging system. So now I gotta charge one battery, then I gotta charge the other, then I can actually go back to doing this amazing work. So when it comes to the rock&rocker, I'm gonna start out with the level 2, and we're gonna see how she does. I'm actually really, it's like a little Bugatti front end. It's kind of funny. So I'm hoping she performs just the same. So far, the interesting part is I did 3.5 passes with the Ryobi and 2 with a rock and rocker. And it appears that I pulled more dead grass out with the rock&rocker than I did with the Ryobi. Now, this is debatable, right? Because it'll all depend on how much debris is physically in the lawn and the actual amount of area. And I would say we did, man, it seems 50-50 to me. But proof is in the pudding, right? We go down here, you can see a lot more surface area than I do over here. And consistently through the grass, this is the rock&rocker over here, and I'm seeing a lot more surface on this side than I am the Ryobi side, which, I mean, makes you want to say that you're getting a better pull. But then we look at this, and there's still some debris there. And we look here, we got a little bit of debris here, totally normal. I've only done 2 passes with the rock&rocker. I still got 2 more to go. So we're now starting to unearth the problem. The reason why I said I wanted to take care of this lawn myself is because a normal company is not going to spend the time to go through it this much, but this is what's happening at this point. We have a massive thatch problem, and you can see the root mass, right? The top here, that's all thatch. This is just garbage, debris, dead grass. This right here is the thatch. It's moving the wrong direction. It's going upwards.
Now that we've got the bulk majority of the topical debris out, we're going to swap it over for the Scarifier and really test this out. Now the Scarifier is designed to rip through the thatch layer, and we're going to drop this machine all the way down to the ground.
Oh my gosh, this is ridiculous. This little machine, dude. Oh my gosh. It's the Price Chopper Price Saver. Holy cow, that Scarifier went to work. This is just one pass. This is ridiculous. And look at the amount of thatch that we're pulling out there. All those roots. And the funny thing is, it's all attached to dead grass. There's maybe, I don't know, 2% live matter in here, All this has just got to go. This is crazy. And the pile gets bigger. Oh, once again, this battery powered technology is just making me grin. This is insane. So I use the Dethatcher, or sorry, I use the aerator / what everybody else is calling a Scarifier. And look at this, it's a lot. And now, boom, we have a ton of thatch that we're pulling out, which is, again, it's the root mass. It's gonna cause this grass to grow. And now we can actually see the ground. This is great.
One thing I found very interesting is I felt like the Scarifier aerator cartridge was better used on the Ryobi than it was the rock&rocker. But I felt like the Dethatcher cartridge worked better on the rock&rocker than the Ryobi. Now the thing that doesn't make sense is the Ryobi doesn't go as deep as the rock&rocker does on the settings.
If you have a small lawn and you're already connected into the Ryobi network, I'd say go for it. The other drawback that I noticed is this is an 18 volt system. It's not a 40 volt system. So if you're like me and you just want more power, you're gonna be left a little dissatisfied having 18 volt batteries and then all your other toys being 40 volt. So here's my final thoughts about the rock&rocker. It's got an awesome design. It does not feel high end, but it does an awesome job. It's at the lower price point. I believe these are priced a little bit lower than the Sunjo. It's got a wider deck and it's performing. It's got the exact same tine system as the Ryobi, which is hilarious. And it's doing its thing. Now when it comes between the battle of the rock&rocker and the Ryobi Dethatcher and aerator, I gotta say, it's almost sixes, right? I love the way the Ryobi feels. It feels like a better product. However, proof is in the pudding. When we look at the amount of debris that I was taking out, this is the Ryobi side with the same amount of passes as the rock&rocker. Now I dare say the half that we did on the rock&rocker had a larger thatch problem. I do believe that the Ryobi does a fantastic job. However, for initial cleanouts, it's a little bit of a pain in the butt. And that's why when you have a cable that attaches to the wall, initial cleanouts are a breeze by comparison. That's the best I can tell you. This is less than half the price after you buy the cable. So we're talking about $125 plus $75 to $100 worth of cable. So when this is on sale, 125 bucks. When it's not on sale, about 150 bucks. So you add the cable, let's just say worst case scenario, 250 bucks versus 450 to the Ryobi. Choice is yours, but if you have any questions, comments, or concerns, hit me up down in the comments down below. Thanks for tuning in, guys. Till next time, this is the Ginja. We're slaying lawns.